Well, good morning and welcome to the SHAC. My name's Barbara Gray from Clarity here in the UK, and it's just before 10 o'clock, and we're all set to have a little colouring session. And I was thinking today would be the perfect day to do to go back over some old ground. Bear with me a second. Do you know what happened? I got so engrossed in what I was doing. I've been doing some colouring in. I want you to come in and have a look. But what happened was I got so engrossed in it that I completely forgot the time, as you do. And then, of course, before you know it, it's a scramble. So that's okay though. I've got my connection with Paul, because my hope is that he's in the room with you good people today. Let me just check this out. There we are. Paul, sound good, I'm hoping. Let's get this show on the road. I apologize. Come on in, and I'll show you what I'm up to. Actually, I want to get a little, just bear with me a second. I'll just get this from my phone. It's easier for me to see the phone. It just goes to prove though, doesn't it? When you, that's better. When you get in the zone, you know, when you get in that colouring zone, it's almost like hypnotic, you know, it's like a real serious meditation. And yeah, so I'll show you what I was up to. You see, I was just colouring in, I was getting ahead a little bit, and I was just sorting out some the background on the feathers, and then I was thinking about you good people, and I thought, yeah, I'll leave those eyes because then I want to get into those eyes with you guys. And yeah, so you know, happy days. I just thought I'd just relax a little bit and wait for you, and then before you know it, it's 10 o'clock. So come on in and we'll get started. It's good to have your company. Did you have a good weekend? Yes? Did you? Well, it was quite cold here. So actually I pretty much didn't leave the house. I worked a lot and I did artwork and I blogged, and what else did I do? I made stamp pens. We assembled stamp pens yesterday evening, Dave and I, at the kitchen table. That was quite fun, actually. Again, you don't have to use your brain too much, so it's quite therapeutic, you know. Yeah, and then I was thinking about today, and I really enjoyed something, because the owls, for example, we did colour the owls in during lockdown years ago, but I'd forgotten, you know, the process of how to get that lovely down effect. And I thought, I know I've already done it once, because the proof is in the pudding. I'll show you a close-up on another camera so you can see. So if you look here, see, we've done all this. We've done that lovely soft down effect, and you know, on the barn owls, that fantastic stippled, speckled, soft, feathery effect, you know. So I thought, well, I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I just have to go back over the YouTubes, because they're all recorded. And what's really fabulous is that Paul, I think it was Paul, he's actually written out exactly from the three sets of colouring postcards that we're using. He's actually written out, look, from set 1, you can see which postcards. So the owls are in set 1. So you go to set 1 and you can see, right, the owls are there, and it was episode 72 to 76. And you know, so if, for example, I wanted to look at the nuthatches, this is what we did with the nuthatches. If you want to know how we coloured this in and follow that course of colouring, then you go to episode 28 to 31. So this was a real coup. And Paul pointed out to us last week, it's so easy to find. If you go to the Feathered Friends products. So it was easy. I just went to the Feathered Friends products, and it was there underneath the product. You find it immediately. So that's really useful. And so what I did yesterday evening when we finished doing the stamp pens, I thought, well, I'm not in the habit of watching myself, but I thought I'll watch back on YouTube. So I went back to see, I wanted to know what pencils I'd used for a start. But then I got caught up in the banter. So it was like going back into a different, like a memory bubble, what it was like then in lockdown, going back. I was talking about my dad when he was still alive and what a laugh we'd had. And then I talked about when I was tawny owl. That was so funny. I was laughing my head off yesterday, telling you stories about when I had a Barney with I think she was barn owl actually. Anyway, very, very funny. And I thought, if you're at home alone and you want to, right, at its very most basic, if you want to know how to colour in these postcards, right, then just go to those downloads. And Paul says the download is also available in the SHAC section on the front of the website. But go to if you haven't got the postcards, they're well worth buying anyway because they're really inexpensive. And then, of course, we've also got the bookmarks, which are fun. So you can see here, if you wanted to buy all of these, all 3 postcards and the bookmarks, if I'm not mistaken, it's 31137, which is a pretty good offer, Anyway, so I got caught up in YouTube and watching our own SHAC while we were colouring in the owls. And they were like 72 to 76, those 5 hours. It was really fun to listen to because it makes you remember where we were in our lives in 2020. I think we've all forgotten just how harrowing that whole thing was, but also how tight a little community we were and still are friends, So that was really cool. And I thought, so I had to look it up. I had to bone up on what we're doing today anyway, because I wanted to get the colours right. And then I got caught up just listening to our banter. So, my banter. And then I also did something yesterday. I got all my Faber-Castell polychromos, because I do have a lot. And I put them all in old coffee cups and mugs, just sorted out, colour sorted them. Because I thought, if this is the year of colour, I need to get my act together here. So, and then I was looking at them, I thought, I really would like to make pottery pencil pots, so I could have, this is what I see, right? Rather than coffee cups, all different ones, miscellaneous, I thought I could make pencil pots, and then I could put them all on the ledge, all the different colours. Wouldn't that look beautiful? I mean, that's like arty in itself, isn't it? What is itching in here? I thought there was something itching. It's a white feather. Is that lucky or what? I didn't sleep in my shirt. But I thought, what is that scratching me? How interesting. Grace will be fascinated. We got a big thing about white feathers. Look at that. Now, isn't that something? How ironic is that? So we're colouring in owls, and I've found a white feather, and it was, like super sensitive. That little tiny piece there can be quite sharp. I just found it in there. Well, I say, it was meant to be. I like that. That's very strong symbolism for me. So, well, that's uplifting. So that means my dad's in the room too. So let's let's get a little closer. There. And we'll start. This is where I was. Right, I was using my Faber-Castell pencils, and I thought, I'll tell you what we'll do, if you're up for it. I don't want to spend 5 days on this again. So, you know, we can learn the process, or let's just say we've learned the process once before. I think we're going to have a refresher lesson in the process, because, you know, we're colouring in the floral alphabet on a Thursday evening, but I wouldn't like to spend more than maybe today and next Monday on the owls, you see. And the wonderful thing is that I'm going to get you motivated now to join me and go back into the SHAC and look up episodes 72 to 76. You know, it is fun to listen to. I felt almost, it's strange, it's almost as if I was a happier Barbara then, or a gigglier Barbara. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. Lots has happened. You know, lots has happened since then. So it's almost like, you know, things that have happened have taken their toll. And when you watch yourself 4 years on, you know, there are definitely differences. My hair's a lot shorter, stuff like that. That's rubbish. But what I'm talking about is, you know, here. So I'm hoping now that I will, having seen that, you know, I really want to get back to that happy place. And that was in the middle of lockdown, in the middle of a pandemic. So really, you know, what have I got to be miserable about now? I think what happens is, right, so we can talk while we're doing this. Look, so I'm going to use my polychromo warm grey. Paul, do me a favour, love, and just put up the link for that set of 12 polychromos pencils, because most of the pencils that I'm going to use are in that set of 12. The greys, the light, the cold greys, warm greys, they're all in there, okay? And if you're going to follow this journey that we're on, colouring journey, you need that little pack. And, you know, we used to sell all the polychromos, but we can't compete. This is one of the problems of the industry for us. You can get them still, but we can't afford to buy them in at the moment. But that's okay. So I'm using warm grey 2. Always used to call it boring beige. Yeah. And what we're going to do, I'm going to work on this guy here with you. Right. So this one's untouched. This one's where I'm going, if you like. And I'm going to put some, I forgot my Dame Edna's, but I found another pair of magnifying glasses, but I can't see, it's a haze, like, but they are magnifiers. So they do the job for me. And what we're going to do first, before we do anything else, is just very gently, okay, we're going to just avoid the little white flecks. See the little white bits that, see if on that one, see the little white flecks on the chest? You're going to avoid those, and you're just putting a light, warm beige colour. Well, warm grey 2 it is. It's very light and it's warm. It's not. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a contrast with warm and cold greys. That's how you get that really lovely downy effect. Do you know, it's made my day finding that feather. How ironic is that? You know, quite something, eh? Quite something. Yeah. So we just put a little coat, like little coat of warm grey there too. Right. Just come round here. So what I find, move the artwork so that you can see what you're colouring in, and you haven't got your arm over the artwork. Hey, see? So just a really light, soft layer of warm grey 2. And like I say, if you go back to those chapters, I'm only reiterating what we did then. So we can put a little bit of, while we're there, why don't we put a little bit round through here as well? Because we're going to use that. Let's put a little bit of grey through there. And that was one of the things that I kept going on about yesterday as well in the video or in the YouTube recording. If you feel you've pressed too hard or you've put too much in or you'd like to take it out again, then it was really easy to see that you could just take this pencil, the pink Faber-Castell pencil, and you could take out the colour. So say, for example, the sky here, right? If I wanted to lighten it here, I mean, I'm going to do it just to show you, but you can see, look, I can take the colour right out. Look, see? So you can, look, see what I mean? So you can't overcook it really until you, I think even if you put blending solution, I think you could still erase it. But you see how you can take colour out as easily as you can add it. Okay, so we've done our warm grey undercoat, let's call it that. And what I wanted to do today, because last time I did the eyes first, and I thought, well, let's do the down this time first, and then we can travel back up to the eyes, because the eyes are really like the central focus, aren't they? They are the eyes of the soul, you know. But they're also the more difficult thing to colour in. So I thought, well, let's do the down, because last week on Thursday, we did that O for orchid. This is why we're doing O for owl. But we did the O for orchid, and we used the stippling trick, didn't we, there? So it's more of that, really. Let's have a look again. How are we doing? Everybody happy? Yeah, I am so happy about that. I'll put it there, because that gives me faith and hope. And that's strange. I know. What is that all about, eh? Of all the things that I found up my sleeve, a feather was not what I expected, you know. Okay, so I've got that warm grey 2. Now I'm going to go to a really light grey. So I'm going to cold grey 2. See, so you've got your warm, and then you've got that dark, it's a bluey colour rather than a brown. It's like blue based rather than brown based. If I press hard, let me show you. If I press hard, maybe you can see. That's warm grey, and this is cold grey. Do you see the difference? Yeah? So what we're going to do now is we're going to, in order to get this kind of effect, let me see if I show you up there like that. See, what we're going to do is, to get that lovely wispy effect, we're going to use the cold grey. And the first thing we're going to do is travel. Let's do this first. We're going to go along there, around. It's softly though, yeah, and then like that. So you may think you can't see much, but you can. I'll show you. Let's have a look. If I come in here like that. Right, if I come in really tight, let's see how far in we can come without it going. Yeah, I reckon you can see much better now, can't you? Let me just change glasses so I can see what you're seeing. Oh yeah, okay. So you can see this is where I'm traveling. All right, let me put my other glasses on. Okay. So you're going around that little eye, these eyes in the feathers, like that. See, so like that, like that. So you're avoiding that white mark, like so. And then we'll do the same again. At the moment, we're just travelling up one side like that, okay? And then, if you like, you can come around the other side of the eye. So you're travelling down the actual line art, like so, okay? And then you go round the eye and down the line art, round the eye, down the line art, round the eye. See? And what we're doing is we're creating that really soft. See, so we're on the line, round the eye, on the line, round the eye, come round the eye that side a bit as well. I mean, it's not, I don't know, I developed this technique for doing beautiful feather down while we were in lockdown. I didn't look it up anywhere. This is just something I've come up with myself. So, you know, you may have a better idea. But I found, and because I suppose because I don't have a degree in art, or, you know, I'm self-taught. And so I didn't read the rule book. Maybe somewhere it says, you must not use warm and cold grey in the same art piece. Well, you know, I didn't read that book. Tell you what I do need, but I can't find my mud feather. I'm going to use my mix mat to lean on, or my, what's better really than a mix mat is things with a hole in it. What do we call those? And don't say polo mints. What's the thing we use? We use it more for parchment. Come on, you can help me. I know you're watching. What's it called? I've had a complete is this the beginning of the end? I can't remember. Wow, that's alarming. Groovy Guard. Thank you, Paul. Well, there you go. Senior moment, or what? See? But you can see how you're building up, see, but you're avoiding those little, there, down you go, round you go. And then we'll have a look at the difference between the one on the left and the one on the right. Yeah, you don't want to press too hard. You want to work in layers. You want to work in layers, okay? There. Let's have a look. It's already starting, isn't it? And the thing is, what we're learning here, we can apply this. See, we're going for this, but we're building up. So you can see already the difference between, this is the warm grey 2, and this is the warm grey 2 plus cold grey 2 over the top. So you can see, I think you can see that, can't you? So that makes quite the difference, okay? So once you've done that, then I'll stick with this one now for the moment. We can always come back to him because it's really, ideally, I'd do that one at the same time. But let's just do this, and I can always do this one for homework, can't I? Right, so I've got my light grey. Right, and what I'll do as well, just to get some depth, I'm going to just whistle round this edge here with my light grey. See, just so that I catch, so that I know that I've caught the edge. There we are. There. Yeah, because I think I want to use a different colour around the outside there. Yeah, that'd be nice. Okay, right, so I've done my light grey as much as I want to do it at the moment. You see, and then what we're going to do, we're going to take, let's take a slightly, well, actually, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll use this light grey, and I'm going to make, see, you've got zigzags going here. See the zigzags? So in order to avoid making diamonds, let's do this. So I'm going to make a line, a gentle line, joining, so I know where to go. See? So then this one, I'm going to join there like that. Isn't it? So it's just like a chevron, really. You're creating chevrons. And then this one again, it's a chevron. Just think chevron. Up, down, down. That'll do. And then again, that's it. Chevron. Okay. We'll do the same thing here. So for example, down, up, down. Don't go through the white bit though. Although if you do, it doesn't matter. You can always up, down, down. Right. And then chevron, up, down. It's easier to do this with lines. I noticed when I was struggling when I did this 4 years ago, because I didn't do this bit, and it makes it a lot easier to give yourself a really light line to follow. Okay, that's what you're doing there. So now we've got our yeah, good. So can you see that? Can you see that? Okay, let me see if anybody can see that. Yeah, Beth, you got a chest infection. I'm sorry to hear that. The next thing we need to do, I'm going to take the same colour grey, and I'm going to now I'm going to sharpen my pencil. Okay, I'm going to sharpen my pencil, and I'm going to make myself. Here we go. So we're going for it now, and it's all about the stippling. Soften that tip a bit, and let's have a look what we can do. So what we're going to do now is follow that line that we've just drawn, but with a stipple. So I wonder if, let me just come to this particular, let me see if that's better so that you could see it better there. So you see when I'm stippling, I'm so glad that I've made that line now. So what I'm doing is I'm going to just follow that line that I've drawn in a zigzag, you see? And what it does is, not much, but it does break it up a little bit, right? So just to the left and the right of the line. And what you're doing really is, even though you're not exacting great change here, what you are doing is you're getting your eye in, so you can see in a minute when you come in with a darker colour, you'll understand. See, so you're just gonna just stipple lightly, and this will, when you've got to trust the process, friends. When you do this, you're just going to the left and the right of that little pencil line that you created the zigzag with. Okay? That one there. And then, where did that go? Up there. There, you see? Good. Now, you can't see much there. So what we're going to do now is go to a darker colour. If I were to ramp it up a little bit, and I'm going to go to, let's not go berserk, But let's go to warm grey 4, for example. Right, let's see if warm grey 4, that will give us a bit more contrast. And then what we're going to do is build it up now, right? Let's have a look. So we go easy. Right, this should work. Right, I'm just testing it over here, see? Okay, good. I'll tell you what else I'm going to do is get myself a brush. Yeah, the brushes are still on the water, friends. They will get here eventually. I'm just glad that we ordered them when we did. Right, now let's have a look. So off we go again, but this time we're going to do the same thing again, but we're going to just go travel up and down in that zigzag. There, this bit here, that bit there. Yeah? And this is when the feathery effect starts to happen. So you get that beautiful down effect like we've got here. You just build it up. It's up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. There we go. And then here, down, up, down, up, down. And then this one, I'm glad I've made those marks though. I didn't do that last time, and I remember sometimes losing my way a little bit. There we go. See? So what you're doing in effect is that, but because you've got that, you're holding the pencil upright, you get tighter, darker marks. Right, here we go. So this one. Watched a good film on Saturday night. Have you seen The Bank of Dave 2? It's really good. Very, very good. It's called The Bank of Dave 2. It's just come out. Did you see Bank of Dave 1? About the Northern Burnley Bank. It's based on a true story. Enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. It's a feel-good film, you know. So if you're looking for a good film, that's one. There, see how it's starting to come together? I like it a lot. I think one of the things that I was saying in on in the YouTube, you know, the last time we did this, it's the feeling when you get it right and it starts to come together when the process is working, and you step away and you think, I did that. It's such a I still sorry. I still like the fact that I can do that, you know, and I want to share that, you know. I'm chuffed with that, and my thoughts on it are, if I can do it, then I know that you can too, you know, and that's a fact. That is a fact. Sorry about that. I hope it wasn't like too fuzzy for too long there. Do I sing a song while I'm doing this? Hello, mother. Hello, father. Here I am in Camp Granada. There you go. There's a music worm for you. You'll be singing that all day now. Da 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 da. Hello, mother. Hello, father. What is it about that song that makes me hoot, so to speak? Right, so we've got some really good, I really like this feathery look, right? And you can see what we're doing here, up, down, up, down. So this one needs to come up as well, like that, down. Don't worry, we can add more, but we just want to get, we're going to add more. But now what we can do is take that colour, because we don't want to put too many colours in. And what we're going to do now is just add a bit of depth. Okay, so remember we always used to talk about a chisel. So you take your pencil, let me just take this. You take your pencil and you just do this. And then you give yourself that kind of flat edge, right? And then you can come in here really lightly and you'll see you get a lovely, there you go. See, this is really good exercise. Avoid the white bits, avoid those little white eyes, okay? But what you'll find is you'll see just feathering out, little circular motions, you just kiss that edge. This is where your magnifier's come in really handy when you've got strong glasses to magnify. There. Right, I'm going to tell you, I've gone quiet because I'm thinking, okay? But I know that Maggie Craner is a big part of Clarity and a big part of this group. And a lot of you are friends with Maggie. Well, several of you know that Maggie was rushed into hospital last week. But I know a lot of you would want to know that she's doing okay. Okay? And I was given permission to tell people in her circle, and her daughter Bex and her son pretty much asked me to do so. So I'm letting you know that she's okay. It could be better, and she's struggling, and she's in hospital, and I'm sure she's wishing she wasn't. And I'm not going to go into the details, but what I do want to do is share that news with you, because I know that we need to send loads and loads and loads of good, positive, wholesome love and healing energy her way, because God knows she needs it. Okay, friends? So I just wanted to let you know that Maggie's in hospital and she's having a fight with it. She's struggling. I'm just going to go to a lighter colour here and start. Yeah, so I know that you'll be sending your love and good energy to Maggie. Hey? I know. And apparently she's most frustrated because they won't let her craft. Bless that poor woman. She'll be all right. She's a strong woman. She's made of sterner stuff than that. But she's got a fight on her hands, friends. So lots of love from all of us, hey? I'll write a card and get it to Bex and make sure that it goes into hospital. And with your permission, I'll send it from all of us, if that's okay. It's a shame we're not allowed to send flowers anymore, really. Typical. Right, doesn't that look nice? See? So what we're doing here is we're just adding a little bit of shade around there. There we are. So I'm bouncing between these colours, you see, the three that I'm using. The warm grey, yeah? And then you can see the only thing that's missing now is, well, let's get round there now. So I'm going to go in with a light colour, around here now, just to show you. Right, just take out that whiteness. Okay, just take out that whiteness a bit, like so. And then I'm going to use the darker one to, see, you've got choices really. There's so many different options, aren't there? But I'm just coming in on that inside lane there. And I'm just going to add a bit of depth. See, it's a little bit dark around there. You see. We're going great guns here, aren't we? So let's just see if I build up another layer of that stippling with that darker one. Yeah, I mean, this is very grey. See here, we've got a bit more brown in this one because I went in with a brown pencil. That's simply that, it's that. I went in with a, and I actually wrote on here, I used raw umber and Dick Brown. I laughed my head off when I saw this as well. Because I keep calling it Dick Van Dyke Brown, but it's not, it's just Van Dyke Brown. But on the YouTube that I was listening to yesterday, I was tickled pink. I was just laughing my head off about this Dick Van Dyke, and I've even called it Dick Brown. And all the time I keep going 180. So I thought, well, what am I on about? And so I had to dig through all my pencils to find the 180, and I did in the end. Let me just see if I can find it. It's one of these. I actually dug them all out, all the browns. There you go. Look, Van Dyke, Van Dyck. You see that? It says Van Dyck Brown, Dick Van Dyke. All right. See if I can. That's a rubbish camera, and I am going to take it out of my own money to buy a new one. Can you see that? Anyway, it's not important, but it says it says Van Dyke on it, and then the other one is 180. And this is why I kept saying, it was so funny. I know it's little things up, but it's so funny how it's a memory hook. So this one's called Raw Umber, and that one's called Van Dyke, and those are the two that I added to this picture. And that's about some of it, really, just those two. Dick Van Dyke and 180. I suppose they're little memory hooks, aren't they? They help you just remember little things. I mean, there are all manner of different colours, you know. But I remember saying to you ages ago, if you invest in the Faber-Castell polychromos, the ones that you'll go to more than any other colour will be the greys, the beiges, the boring, the flesh, the cream, the ivory. Those are the colours. And I see myself doing it all the time. Look, the proof is in the pudding. Look at the length of the pencil compared to the other ones. It's the one I use all the time, so it's shorter. Yeah, so, and what I definitely know here is that it's the cold greys, the light cold grey, that's giving us that downy effect. Where's my little feather gone? Oh no. Where's my feather gone? Barbara. Oh, I'll have to look for it later. My feather's disappeared. Oh no. Am I superstitious or what? Not much, eh? Well, it can only be in this room, so I shall find it when we call it a day. But what I want to do now is take a look at those eyes. Are you ready for the eyes? The eyes have it, eh? Let's have a look. Now, what have I done with that little feather? Maybe we send it to Maggie. She needs it. She needs that love and attention. She sure does. Oh, don't know. Be here somewhere. Anyway, let's get on with these eyes. How are you doing? All right? Super cold tea. There it is. There it is. Put it up there. I'm going to put that in my purse. Cool. What's the date today? The 13th. The 13th. I was born on Friday the 13th. Oh no. There you go. Lucky for some. My mum says it was lucky number's 13. I was born on the 13th. Steve was born on the 13th. Yeah. Right, so now we're going for these eyes. Okay. So when you're doing that, the eyes, first of all, we need a little bit of orange. So the pergoliners also have got a really good orange in them. See? So we could do that. That's cool. And then what we need is a really sharp grey pencil. So I'm going to go really sharp on this one. Let's have a look. Really sharp. Need it to be sharper than that. Okay, so what we're going to do first of all is we're going to add, let's do this. So we've got the orange there, right, on the second bit in. And then what we're going to do is just use this grey, a darker grey, just to push back along that edge there. Let's just kiss that line there. Right, so what you're doing is you're just kissing that line there, and then you gently feather that out. Right, so that edge there is just this bit here. See, you're going in there just to darken that line there. Okay, it makes all the difference, doesn't it? Let's take a yellowy colour. What have we got here? This is in that set of 12 as well. It's called, in German, Strohgelb, which means straw yellow. In the English translation is cream. Oh, I was having a right pop at the translations on these Faber-Castell pencils in the YouTube. I don't know how I get away with it, really. Right, let's just add a little bit of that cream into that area there. So what we've got is white, orange, white, yellow. Okay, so the yellow. When I say yellow, I mean cream. Right, so you can see that now. White, orange, white, and then we're going with a light yellow. See here? So we can do both of them. There you go. You've got 6 chances of getting this right. And then we're going to use this pencil. You can see here you're coming out, but it needs to be pretty sharp, friends, because you're working on a tiny little eye. Let's see if we look at this. I wonder if we can see on the eye there. Yeah, so you can see the eye. You see the little tiny lines on the orange? That's what we're doing. Tiny little, right, here we go. So on here, I'm better going away from myself. And what I'm going to do now is take the, and I'm just going to flick from the center here, this bit, and I'm flicking out. Okay, let's go again. Flick, flick, flick. Right. And when that's it, really, really sharp. And you're going to flick out and you're just staying. There you go. There's that brush so I don't smear it. So I can see what I'm going to do here. It's all right, it's got eyelashes as well. Oh, right. So now I'm going to use that. I want to leave some white. Otherwise, I mean, if you lose the white, it's not the end of the world. You can always reintroduce it. Remember I said you can take it away. But it's easier all round. See, and then this bit here, we're just going to come in here on this white bit. There you go. We're just coming round. It's not hard, is it? Just a bit of depth there. And on that line there. So there is a temptation to take your hand and sweep it across, but it's better not to. Right, and then the black here, this bit here, and we've also got to put some shading in here. I'm going to use the same warm grey to do this, and I'm going to get it a bit sharper. It needs to be sharp as a pin to do this. Right, let's go again. So now on the yellow bit, I mean, it's very forgiving really, but let's just go again. Okay. Just gonna, this is where your eyesight lets you down. Sit on there. Just go around. It's a little bit extreme. Looks like she's got massive eyelashes. Right. Okay. No, that's going to look amazing. Okay, do the same on the other one. What's the time? Is it 10 to 11 already? Oh, friends. Right, let's go again. So if you get a chance, oh, hello. If you get a chance, do have a look at the YouTube 72 to 76. Forgive the advertising. I noticed there was quite a lot of advertising, but I suppose that's how we make money. I don't know. I guess that's why it works. I don't know. Yeah, go and click. Go on. Keep just clicking them, because every time you watch an advert, we make a couple of pennies. Yeah, this will work nicely. There. And then we'll just come around there. Right, let's have a look. So you can see how I've got that there, but now what we want to do is just bring this colour in here. We're just going to add a bit of shade through here. I'm using the same colour. There we are. Just to add a bit of shade around there. And we can add more depth afterwards, and I'm going to, because I want those eyes to be really dramatic. And the darker the colour you use here, you'll see. See, I'm just going, I've got 2 more layers of colour to go here yet. That'll do. But you can see where we're headed. So you use the lighter colour first, then you use the next colour down, and you work down towards the darkest colour. That's how I work anyway. Is that correct? I don't know. I don't know, but I get the result that I want, so it works for me. See? And then this bit here, I'm going to get that colour going through there. Just a little bit of depth there. Oh, it's working well, look. There you go. And the eyebrow, or what's that called over the top? Yeah, be an eyebrow. I remember I probably talked about it in the YouTube. I remember being in New Mexico years ago, leaving early in the morning to go back to the airport, and there was a huge horned eagle. It had obviously hit the side of a truck. It was awful, really. But the size of the wingspan, that an unbelievable wingspan, like huge. And what amazed me was it had really, I mean, huge talons, but they were really furry. Yeah, really hairy, just exquisite bird, like a bird of prey. But this wingspan on this bird and these great big furry, you know, it was an awesome animal, an awesome animal. And, you know, tragically, it lost its life, as so many do. I mean, God only knows what's happening in LA. I mean, yeah, good God. You know, to the animals as well as the poor humans. Yeah. It's looking good though, isn't it? Look. You see, and if you wanted to, like the nose, I called it a nose yesterday as well. The beak is actually pink. I'll show you. So you put a bit of pink in. Well, it's not pink. It's in that set of 12. Beige red, they call it. Fleshy colour. Flesh. It's like light fleshy. There you go. Okay. So we got that in there. And then we want to get the nose. We want to get a bit of shadow on that side. So I quite like this bit. So you bring that up and you kind of try to keep, let's get that dark again. You try to keep a little bit of whiteness up the edge there. See? Yeah, that works. So you just introduce colour. See, I could get lost in it. Well, I did yesterday for hours. See, so you got that shadow on that side. And you'd never think that this line art could create this kind of image with a little bit of colour. See where the lines are here? Look, a little bit of shadow there. And so that's got to come in here as well, hasn't it? Yeah, so what was happening this week? Well, today at 2 o'clock, we've got a lovely Clarity social TV. So it's me and Pedlin and Paul presenting. So that'll be fun. I've got some beautiful stamps that I want to showcase. Not new, so you may already have them. And if you do, good, come in for some ideas. Come in to keep us company. There, doesn't that look good? Darkest one next. Where's that Payne's Grey? Which is also in the set of 12. Yeah, so 2 o'clock today for an hour. Then tomorrow, Paul's Groovy Tuesdaying it. And then, so this is Payne's Grey now, which is this really dark grey. And it's almost like black, but it's not black. It's a fabulous colour. Right, and it just, watch this pop now. So we need to introduce the nostrils. So there's a nostril. And then I'll pop another one on that side. Just a tiny whisper there. And that's it there. Yeah, so, and then tomorrow in the afternoon, that'll be Jazz and Paul. I'm off the hook because I've got to get some design work done because I'm in the driver's seat again on Friday. We've got an amazing groovy launch. It's about time we had something really fantastic. And so what we're doing on Friday, let's get this pupil done. Look, see? So now out pop the eyes. Watch this. Not out pop the eyes, Barbara. But watch how that little bit of depth there, that colour, that will change it completely. Look at that. It's good, isn't it? Right. So Friday, we've got the Richelieu plates by Linda Williams. Just magnificent. Look, great. I love it. I hope you try this because you'll get such a buzz out of doing it. It's so rewarding when it works, and it's not hard. Yeah, and then Wednesday night, isn't that cool? Right, we'll call it a day for there. Wednesday night, I hope you're going to join me because this is like the lead up to the Friday 10 and 2 o'clock shows, because we've got the craft along, okay? And I better pan out a little bit because I think this is going to be too close. So we're going to keep it simple-ish, but we're definitely getting into cutting. Pan out a little bit. There we are. So we're going to make my mum's coaster, and we're going to do it in real time together. So this is what, if you go, Paul will give you the download. But if you want to get into picot cutting, then I'm going to, it's like a little warm-up session, okay, at 7 o'clock on Wednesday. It's a free craft along with yours faithfully. And I'll just, it's time to get on. If you're struggling with your picot cutting, it's time to get on with it. You know, let's master it. And again, if I can do it, you can do it. You need scissors. You definitely need picot scissors. I just use the standard ones, the exclusive. They're called exclusives, but then they're the least expensive ones. They work really well for me. We've got ring locks, and then we've also got the ones that are like tweezers, squizzers, or perga cutters, I think they're called. So there's 3 different options, and they're useful. They definitely, you need them to do the picot cutting. So that's what we're going to do on Wednesday night. It's a craft along, a little bit of layout, a little bit of, and that will set you in good stead for the Richelieu plates. Having said that, I've spoken at length to Linda about this, and they actually work without cutting, just with colouring and shading. But if you want to get the lace effect, then the cutting is a key. The cutting is key to that. Okay, so Paul, have I forgotten anything? I don't think so. I think we're there. Thank you for your company. It's already gone 11 o'clock. Where does the time go? And then on Thursday, don't forget, we're going to get together again for a little bit of colouring, a little bit of gentle colouring on that beautiful floral poster. And even though we're dealing with an A3 floral poster, actually, it really, really ties into our mini make. You know, we've got hundreds of people. If you haven't joined that group yet, it's a brilliant group. It's called Clarity Crafts, Mini Makes and ATCs. Okay, and do look for us on Facebook if you haven't joined that group yet. We've got Groovy Worldwide, we've got Clarity Worldwide, I think we've got Pergamano Worldwide. There are lots of really safe community groups that you might really enjoy. And so that's the SHAC on Thursday night. And do me a favour, like and subscribe if you haven't, because numbers are great, you know. It's good to know that you're loved. And then, of course, there's the Barbara Gray blog, which I'm endeavouring to do every day at the moment. Yeah, it's going to be okay. It's a challenge, I'll give you that, but I think we'll be fine with a little help from our friends. So like, subscribe, follow, go to the website, sign up for our newsletter, aka for our emails, so that we can tell you what we're doing and when we're doing it, because we are busy. Okay. And if all else fails, go to YouTube. My mum does that. So I've got to tell you this, and then I'll leave on this note. So Mum and Steve, my brother, Mum was watching YouTube. Okay, she was watching Clarity on YouTube, and my brother said, I think so. My brother was watching my mum watch, and she said, Baba, it's on television at the moment. So he was watching, and he said, hang on a minute, Mum, let me call Sheila, because she didn't want to come out of the program. And I was chatting away. And so he rang Sheila because he knew that his wife, Sheila Gray, would be watching. He said, what's Barb wearing? So she said, oh, she's wearing a blue shirt. So he went back in. He said, Mum, you're not on the right day. Barbara's wearing a blue shirt today. So they had to come out and find the live stream. So that was quite comical. Mum was watching something that happened in lockdown, different top. Anyway, have a fabulous Monday. And don't forget, I shall see you at 2 o'clock with Paul, ready to rock and roll. See you then.